royalty-free theme music
Royalty-free music. Coming at you live from iHeartRadio.
Coming at you live.
No one listens to iHeartRadio.
Cinema.
The fact that you didn't do like a K-Billy Super Sounds of the 70s voice for that is disappointing.
We want to treat. We can edit it out. You want to retry?
No.
I guess you don't care enough then, huh?
I don't. You bungled it though, because you could have been like.
You bungled it when you're like, I'm not going to ever edit anything ever. Coming at you live. How do you want to do it? Do you want to say it like in like the 70s style or like?
Guys,
no, like the radio announcer from the movie. You could have totally done that.
I could have done that, but like, why didn't you do it? Go ahead and do it.
You're already doing it. Nope. It's lost now. We've lost it.
No, let's fucking see you do it, lady.
No, I'm not going to do it.
Do it. Franny, help me.
You can't peer pressure me into anything.
Do it.
So,
put your back into it. Do it.
Don't sing too much. We can't, we can't afford that.
So, what are we talking about today?
Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah. What?
Nothing.
What were you going to say? Why don't you just say it?
I wasn't going to say anything.
Oh, my God.
We've been talking for a while. My jaw is... We've just recorded a whole podcast before this, so...
Oh, you don't want to do it anymore? You just want to stop right here? You want to stop right now?
I can't... Oh, no!
Just kidding. Anyway.
Yeah, this is an episode about Reservoir Dogs. Reservoir Dogs is my favorite movie.
I didn't like it.
It is dead ass my favorite movie. I don't want to hear it from you, Franny.
I didn't like it.
I would, if it were up to me, we would just mute Franny's microphone. No dissenting opinions
Hold on,
my
everybody
podcast.
quiet real fast. Everybody be quiet for a second. Franny, say something.
I didn't like it.
Done.
No. She unmuted herself.
No, I have opinions.
Nice.
Allowed to them. You're allowed to have opinions.
You're entitled to your wrong opinions about this movie.
God damn it. They're right. This movie is not coherent. This movie...
What do you mean it's not coherent?
It's boring. It's so fucking boring.
There's a huge difference between being coherent and being boring.
It's not coherent. You can't understand a word.
I had that trouble too, but I apparently could have just asked Madison what they were saying at any point in time.
You definitely could have just asked me.
I also just found it.
Apparently, I could have just asked Madison.
You could have. I would have been able to tell you.
Guess I'm a dumb fuck, apparently, according to Madison.
You could have. I would have told you. I've seen this movie so many times.
I want to watch it again with subtitles on.
We can't do that. The DVD copy that I own does not have subtitles on.
I find it somewhere with the subtitles, Madison.
I mean, if you want to pay
$3.99
to watch it on whatever streaming service it's available on, you can do that.
But
Logan, what are you doing right now? What are you doing right now, buddy?
Just reading some notes.
Notes about Reservoir Dogs?
Yeah.
You took notes?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's cute.
I took one. I hated it.
I didn't take any, but I colored while I watched it.
Oh my God.
Madison, I want to know what the appeal is of this movie.
What the appeal is of this movie?
Yeah.
I think this movie has a lot of appeals. I think it's...
Name one.
It's like a fun... it's a fun...
no, you can't call this fun. I was bored to tears. I wanted to
I think
sleep.
it being fun is a little bit subjective. It's a fun like crime heist movie that's a little bit unconventional in the way it plays with the timeline. The dialogue is really snappy, if a little racist.
I was gonna say.
Well, to be fair, let's break down why though. I mean, the characters aren't exactly like.
Yeah, no. I mean, this is a bunch of criminals.
I mean, You're not supposed to endear yourself really to all of the characters. Really.
Yeah, no.
If you endear yourself to any, it's not horrible, but at the same time, it's like I could totally understand somebody being like, I don't like any of these fucking characters.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think that's another thing. I didn't like any of the fucking characters.
Yeah, but I mean, like you know, it's funny.
And also Steve Buscemi. I just don't like looking at him.
Wow.
Oh my God, I'm sorry, Steve.
Sweetie, I'm so sorry that a bitch like that would say something like that to you. He's a really great guy. Like on all accounts, Steve Buscemi is like a great guy. How dare you say that about him? Now, like you can say that about
my opinion.
You can say that about Quentin himself, and I'd be like, yeah, that's a valid criticism of Reservoir Dogs. Like I don't like the look of him either.
I say that every single time he was on screen. Oh, yeah. I was like, I don't like to look at him. And Madison's like, I don't know what to do about that.
Nothing for me to do about that for you. I don't like to look at him either. But
although
we
I feel
all
like if you're a server, you will hate the Mr. Pink character. I'm just gonna.
I mean, yeah.
I liked him, but I didn't like him. Like I don't morally agree with him, but I enjoyed him as a character.
Yeah, that's
Does that make any
he's
sense?
like a fun character.
None of the characters are like boring. I don't
agree
with
they're
that.
all interesting.
I don't think any of them are boring.
I like Orange.
Yeah.
And all I was sitting there the whole time, and I was like, lie to me.
Yeah,
the
she
lie
was
to me
like, she's like,
guy.
I know him, and I was like, personally, like Tim Roth, you've known him.
Lie to me. So you like Lie to Me, but not The Mentalist. Funny little note.
I've
for myself.
never seen The Mentalist previously,
It's like
and I
a
do
good
enjoy
lie to
it.
me.
Yeah,
I enjoyed Lie to Me.
It's like someone's lying better to me.
we have Lie to Me, but better.
someone better's lying next to me.
Harvey Keitel is in it. Like, that is a perk of any movie, in my opinion. I love that man.
I'm gonna have to Google these names as you say them.
Okay, Harvey Keitel is Mr. White, so he's like the older guy.
I like him.
He was in The Irishman.
He's like, you're gonna
Which
be
I
okay.
loved.
Say the goddamn words. You
She
know,
used to say that to me sometimes.
That's sometimes you have to say that to yourself. Sometimes that's just
Or
what
you
you
sometimes
have
have
to do to
your
get through.
girlfriend has to say it to you
Yeah.
when you're having a bad day. You know?
And then Tim Roth is Mr. Orange, who is the cop. Spoiler
Tim Roth-
alert for
Tim Roth.
Reservoir Dogs.
Tim Roth is a actor that Quentin absolutely adores. So you'll see him.
I
spread out
too
through other
adore
films.
him.
No, I mean like on a personal level. Like he's.
Yeah, no.
They're very, very good friends.
Yes. I just adore him, like, personally.
Me too. I enjoy him.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, his scene in Pulp Fiction's like the best. I love
It
him
is.
in
I
that.
love
He's
that
in Pulp
movie.
Fiction too.
You'd know if you'd seen it, Bridget.
Listen, we're working on it.
Whoa, you've never seen Pulp Fiction?
She's
ever?
never seen it.
I haven't.
Your
Okay.
mind? No, hold on,
Listen.
pause. Your mind's gonna be fucking blown after that.
You're gonna be like, what? A
What?
movie can be like this?
You're like, oh my god, I just want to like dance and have like a vanilla shake. Like this is crazy.
That's all I was most times in my life.
I had an opportunity to watch it, but it was one of my first few nights in the dorms, and I said, fuck it, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna sit and be edgy and write a piece some random place on campus
For some
by
reason,
the moonlight.
For some reason, when you said you had the opportunity, I just pictured like the Dinkelberg meme. Like this is where I would have had my memory of watching fucking Reservoir Dogs. If only I had. Like
I remember watching Pulp Fiction for the first time because I was like, I was a teenager, and I watched it because we knew that we were gonna have like a snow day the next day because it was like snowing a whole fucking bunch.
Yeah.
And then we went to for all my Ohio people, a Frisch's Big Boy the next morning.
Hey.
some parts of the country, they're just called Big Boy.
Yes, but this was specifically a Frisch's Big Boy.
Big Boy. Yeah.
Ah,
'Cause
Really?
they don't call it other places.
They had one
they
in.
call it Big Boy.
Yeah, just
other
Big
places.
Boy.
I
Yeah.
just always called it Frisch's.
I
Yeah.
mean, but that's what they're called around here. But like in a small town, a college town near my home, we just had a Big Boy.
It's just the Big Boy.
What the
It's the Big
fuck?
Boy.
I've
Yeah, I
never
know.
I've
told
been to that Big Boy.
Which is crazy
Muncie?
because
Yeah, I've been to that Big Boy.
Hey.
it's crazy because like the Big Boy's the sandwich. It's not the restaurant. It belongs to Frisch's.
Well, it's not true. They own that section
Yeah,
of
no,
the
I know.
franchises.
the
It's like
Big
a Ruth's
Boys.
Chris Steakhouse.
I wonder if
Ruth's
it's any.
Chris Steakhouse.
Oh my God.
That's a real fucking thing, dude.
Ruth, isn't
I
it Jeff
know.
Ruth or something? There's one
No,
downtown.
No.
That's a Ruth's Chris. The one downtown's a Ruth's Chris.
I
By
applied
where
for
we
a job
used
there.
by
and
where
I
we
didn't
used to
get it.
work, it's a Ruth's Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's
got
other
it.
ones called something Chris Steakhouse, and there's other ones that have spanned off and are like hibachi style, and they're just called Ruth's.
Yeah. So franchising is weird.
Damn. It is weird.
Also, I love Ponderosa. Random shout out to you, Ponderosa. I've been thinking about you a lot
I don't think
lately,
I've ever
baby.
had Ponderosa in my
It's
I
life.
so
haven't been able-
good.
I miss
Super
Ponderosa.
Hong Kong buffet's gone, by the way.
What?
Fuck! It's gone.
Damn it.
I literally like broke down in the street, like ready. Did I not? I was like, let me out of the car. I was going to cry in the rain.
It was like
That's so
definitely
funny.
before everything was back open during this pandemic.
Damn.
And Logan was like, let's just drive by there and see if they
Let's just try
and see if like, they do like carry out or something. And then
and
we
then-
drove up.
Oh
and,
God, that's terrible.
Madison never got to go.
And
I
noticed
know.
her.
That's
like,
really sad.
That's a
That's sad,
special
'cause-
place.
The Big Bird. I wish we would have had an opportunity to
To
steal
buy
that
it.
Big Bird.
I would have
or
put
buy
that
it.
or
right
at
now.
least taking a picture with it.
No, I would put that right in our office. Boom, Big Bird fountain right there.
Damn.
Filled with dead fish and coins. Put it right there.
They literally
Hell
would
yeah.
just keep the dead fish in there, and there's always a
Do
child. There's always loose children everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
about to
there
jump
was,
in.
not always, not anymore.
I know. They also had the biggest cameras where you could see the screens as you're walking out. It's
Nice.
like, what kind of crime do you think is happening? I also one time watched a child take something out of like the dessert thing with their hands
Yes.
and then put it back. They also just like have like loose
That's called a kindergarten lay. That's what that is.
one time and like
They lick their fingers.
Right?
They touch something from the ground. They put it back in the tray.
they also just have like or had Like one of their things was just goldfish, just loose goldfish.
Or loose veggie fries.
Yeah, veggie fries. That was that one.
They would take ice cream and take sauce containers, like ketchup containers.
Yeah.
And they'd fill them with ice cream individually and then put that in the freezer.
Yeah.
Because they understood.
But goddamn it, it was $9 a person, and it was all you could eat, and it was fantastic.
I would eat those cheddar mussels every fucking time. You know that they're old and bad for you. And I would eat them
and maybe not real
I'd
fish.
eat them like a fucking walrus. My breath would smell like an aquarium afterward. I didn't give a shit.
They had always questionable sushi that I would go to
Hell
first.
yeah.
Speaking of
And they put hold on. They just put random shit in the sushi. Like there's iceberg lettuce in the sushi one time.
Amazing.
But yes, continue.
Speaking of a sketchy restaurant, this film starts in a diner.
It does start in a diner. That's true.
I had
a
Quentin,
segue,
Quentin himself
babe.
says, "Let me tell you what Like a Virgin is about." I won't do the whole thing.
The whole scene is just, it's
my probably I'm biased because I love this movie a lot, but it's like such a good opening scene. Like, I don't know, my man Quentin, for all of his many myriad faults, he really knows how to do that like fun conversational dialogue where it's just like a bunch of dudes just shooting the shit. Like that's how I talk. That's how we talk on this fucking podcast.
Yeah, exactly. It's
For
very
sure.
That's how we speak to each other.
For the Kevin Smith fans out there, he kind of has the same thing where, like, if Quentin was allowed, if people would accept the film, he would just have a steady camera and have two interesting characters talk for 2 hours.
Right.
Because it's all about the dialogue with him.
Yeah, it's just about them talking to each other.
Same thing with
like,
Kevin Smith. That's what Clerks is. They just fucking sit in the gas station, talk about Star Wars, and it's great. That's what this film, the opening scene, gives you an idea of what the rest of his career is going to be. Pretty effectively. You're like,
and just that fun way, like the camera is circling the table and like how they're all kind of interrupting each other and having their own threads of conversation. I just love that shit.
now, the scene would have been better if Quinn wasn't in it, personally.
I mean, that can be said about most things.
I hate his face.
No, it's not that. He's just the worst actor in the scene.
He
by
is.
far.
Like,
He
he
is. He's
wants
so
to
bad.
be an actor really bad.
You know what he got famous for doing, or like what he got do you know how he got the money to make Reservoir Dogs?
What?
He played a Elvis impersonator on an episode of a TV show filled with Elvis impersonators.
Really?
He got a little bit of money in residuals from it, and then he made Reservoir Dogs.
I did not know that.
Wow.
That's a
I
fun
believe
fact.
it's the Golden Girls. I believe.
Really?
I believe so.
The
You have to
Golden
fact check
Girls?
me on that. But that was his first thing.
I didn't know that.
And also, he was a manager at a video store too.
I was going to say he worked at a video store as
that's-
well.
I relate. I am Quentin Tarantino minus the creepy.
Like,
Yeah,
honestly,
I was gonna say
imagine
you're
you
more
walk into a
approachable.
video store
and you
Quentin
hate feet.
Imagine you walk into a video store.
I'm like the anti-Tarantino.
You're
'Cause
like the good Quentin Tarantino.
I hate feet. I hate my own feet.
But like you walk in and you're like, "Hey man, got any good movie recommendations?" And he's like, yeah, let me see what I got in the back here."
Yeah.
And like it's like the weirdest fucking shit you've ever had to see in your life.
I was literally the exact same way though, where somebody would come in and be like, "What should I watch?" I'm like, I just saw this movie Thoroughbreds. I think you should watch this. Or, "Oh, I just saw this movie Vengeance. You should watch this." And then one day somebody pointed out to me, Quentin Tarantino did the same thing you're doing right now.
Correct.
And I was
yeah.
like, yeah, but he's like successful now, and that's not how this is going to turn out. That's how
my
opposite
God.
to Tarantino I am.
Shut up. You're gonna do.
What a gross man he is.
I love him so much.
Like for a group of people who've committed to doing a podcast about every one of Quentin Tarantino's films, we hate him a lot.
He just is. He looks like
Ew. Like
two different creepy kids that were in my high school class morphed together.
What is?
And I'm not going to say their names.
Yeah.
But if you're
I wouldn't think
listening-
so because that would only make sense to you.
If if you're listening and you think it might be you, it is.
Could be.
It probably is.
Has Quentin Tarantino actually done something bad besides the feet thing, or do
You
we
gotta
just
get your
hate him
mouth
for no
on the
reason?
microphone.
Okay, has Quentin Tarantino actually done something bad besides like the creepy feet thing, or do we just hate him because the way he looks?
I mean, he really fucked
Like his
Uma Thurman
vibe.
over. Like
Yeah.
really. In
Didn't-
regards to
didn't he,
like all
like,
the stuff that happened on the set of
almost
Kill
kill
Bill.
her?
Yeah, he like almost killed Uma Thurman. Like, I mean, he didn't like literally murder her, but like
He would demanded she do like stunts that were too dangerous for her.
yeah, and
shit,
she
right?
almost died doing them. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
mean, he's a little problematic.
I love Uma Thurman.
I love her
Yeah.
too.
She's great.
Back when I peaked in high school, people used to tell me I looked like her.
Nice. Good for you.
I don't think you peaked in high school.
I peaked in high school.
didn't.
It's fine.
I disagree.
I doubt that can be
Take
true.
a peek.
Huh?
Take a peek.
Shut up.
This is a little inside joke. Zane, if you don't listen to this podcast, this proves it right now because you're definitely going to text me if you listen to it. Sorry.
Quit testing your friends.
Oh, by the way, Landon, your code word is Zaboomafoom.
Nice.
Amazing.
I love that.
I love that you have code words. None of my friends listen to this.
No.
I proved to. I'm like you because they'll give me fake compliments because they know that I need it, and I'm gonna force them to fucking actually listen to
All
it.
right.
I know my friends don't listen to this. One of my friends said, "What's the movie of the week?"
That's funny.
Singular
The
the
movie.
movie.
The movie.
Well, like
the movie.
Evan might be listening to this. Evan, if you're listening to this, text me grapefruit.
Grapefruit.
It's a fruit that I really like.
But okay, like
I think it's neat.
Back to Reservoir Dogs. Franny, there's not anything you like about this movie. I mean, come on.
I like the twist ending when he was the cop.
Yeah, that's fun.
That was a fun
Yeah,
little.
I liked that.
And then the way he divulged to Larry that he was the cop, and he didn't have to do that.
I know he didn't have to do that, but he did because that's gay love, baby.
I was thinking about it as I was going to sleep without Madison because I was tired and she wanted to play Overwatch.
I liked the opening scene too. Like the
Yeah,
fight
it's
scene.
fun.
That was about the only other scene I liked.
But I was thinking about the fact that he didn't have to tell Larry that. I was thinking about it, and I'm like, why did he do that? And then I was like, because he knew that Larry would kill him. He told him.
Like that's
And he didn't want to
what
die.
being gay is
He
about.
didn't want to be
dude.
alive without Larry. That's my hot take.
That's what it's about to be gay.
And like just the way that,
That's it.
I mean,
I love that shit.
and just the way that Larry like cradled.
I know, and he's like, when he's like, "Can you please hold me, Larry?" And I'm like, "Oh, you homosexual, you!" Like
how many times have I crawled over to little Madison and been like, "Can you just hold
I think
me?"
that's also just what a relationship is. Like, it doesn't have to
please
be
hold me.
I've definitely asked Logan to hold me, and he's asked me to hold him. We're
Like-
not gay.
I mean,
That
yeah,
you know of.
but yeah, I mean, like it's a gay movie, though. I think we can all come to an agreement that it's
Yeah.
a gay movie.
It's
There's
definitely gay.
Except for
some gay
Logan, who's
tones in there.
texting on his phone.
Writing notes. I'm hearing everything you're saying. I'm writing notes. I've been told that I talk too much. So
I want you
No,
to
you
talk
haven't.
more.
Who
Talk.
told
Say
you
words.
that?
I'm also just writing notes in general.
Read us your notes.
I'm just trying to. I'm re-ranking Tarantino stuff like in live action. I just want to say that I will eventually note that Once Upon a Time's rating for me has changed
Okay.
from what it was before.
Madison-
Okay,
You
that's fine.
talk too much.
I was just
the
being
best
shitty.
part.
I don't actually
Okay.
think that.
Madison-
Don't
What?
defend it because then it makes me think it's real.
Take. Tell them about the Blacklist episode your mom was watching. I don't know why I thought about that, but please.
My mom was watching an animated episode of the TV show The Blacklist because of the COVID.
Animated?
They
That's
computer
kinda
rendered it.
Cool though, actually.
I don't know. It looks kind of shitty to me. But
looked
anyway.
really weird. I don't know why I thought about that, but
so
I
let's
needed.
talk about one of the most famous scenes in cinema.
Yeah.
What scene?
Let's talk about that.
No. I feel like that was like close enough to not be considered copyright strike.
Jokers to the left of me. Clowns on my right. There
Yeah.
I am. Stuck in the center left with you.
So I'm stuck somewhere in this movie. Mr. Blonde is a great character.
He
Mr.
is.
Blonde is a despicable fuck. And
Yeah,
everybody's
but you
met a
have to
police
love
officer
him.
like Mr. Blonde.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you have to love him too, though.
Yeah.
Like you kind of do a little bit. Just like his like cool guy nonchalance. You're like, yes,
There-
this is
Yeah.
a man in a movie.
The sociopathness of him is so incredible.
Just like him showing up, like the details of his character, like him showing up with the drink in his hand, like you know he went through a drive-through with this cop tied up in the back of his car,
Yeah.
and that is like hilarious to me.
And then, like that scene is so incredible because what it did was it showed that Tarantino doesn't like he maybe loves the slasher flick, right? Like
Yeah.
he absolutely adores gore and upfrontness and just absolutely there. But he gives you a mercy shot in the scene where he pans over to the kind of like the lift area where everything just rolls up. That shows his restraint as a filmmaker.
Yeah, and that he doesn't use gore as a crutch, as a like, because you know what I mean?
Everything happening with the music, to the ambiance of the scene, to the Mr.
To Michael
Blind's,
Madsen dancing,
Michael Madsen in general. You have everything you need. That scene was
good, yeah.
And like the cop like screaming in the background. It's like all of it's very effective. That you don't need that.
So you can say whatever you want about Reservoir Dogs, but this scene is going to forever be Quentin Tarantino's greatest scene.
Yeah, it's so iconic.
There's nothing that's changed cinema more, because there are so many scenes now. I mean, just fucking Bloodshot alone. Yeah. That's a good example. People have stolen the concept of the erratic killer psychopath style with the music overlaying
and the dancing.
Yeah, the dancing.
Because there was something so uncanny valley about the way Michael Madsen's character was. Yeah. Where like you're like, well, there are tough guys like that, but I don't know if a person would be tough through all this. But he is that crazy as fuck tough boy. Yeah. And it never goes away. So
and like if you think about the movie, his character really fucked everything up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it never would have happened that way if it were not for him. So
and
if he hadn't decided to just start fucking shooting.
Yeah. He was he doesn't like alarms. Yeah. He says that.
I think I also think like just the way the shot like went away from him. Yeah. And like the sound mixing of the situation, the other person in the scene also, I don't know the actor's name because it's very insignificant, no offense.
Not Tim Roth, but the other cop.
No, the guy who got the other cop.
Yeah, the guy who got his ear hacked off, Marvin Nash.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I've seen this movie. It's not the actor's name, it's the character's name.
Oh, Marvin Nash.
His name is Marvin Nash.
He is so underrated because that scene does not work without the convincing terror. Yeah. And also like there is a cop convictional side to him. Like it's not cop propaganda, anybody, but you get everything you need from this character where it's like, okay, if this was a different cop, Orange would be fucked. Yeah. But this cop was like, even though he was terrified, he was afraid for his family and his children, he felt the horror. I mean, all of it was very real to him, but he still didn't break. Yeah. And then you find out like, maybe he's being a little bit selfish towards the end where he's like, oh, my face is all fucked up. I'm fucking deformed. But at the same time, it's like,
God damn it, if you got deformed, like...
Well, that, but also just... They built a humanity into the character that literally Michael Madsen stripped down right in front of you. Right. In the same fucking moment, you felt for him, while also he became a fucking carving board. That is such a powerful way to make you hate Michael Madsen, but also be like, fuck, he's so interesting.
You're like, he's so cool, but I hate him. And then right after it, and then like, what a great moment when Orange shoots him.
Yes, absolutely.
And then you find out why, and then you get that great flashback, which is like, I love all that entire flashback sequence to him like learning the joke. Yeah. And then telling the joke.
So
that's like a really fun.
That whole thing where it's like he's not an actor.
Motherfucker, I'm trying to watch The Lost Boys.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Like him getting more and more convincing. Yeah, and like all of a sudden it's his own, and it's just like very satisfying to me.
Yeah, and then you get to see like how he gets drawn into this like gang of thieves that he's become a part of, and like his sympathy for them and his gay love for Larry.
That's okay.
And also,
okay.
Like, I mean,
I'm not expressing this as fact, but I'm definitely not discrediting it either. Because you watch the movie, it's really fucking hard to say it's
really
not there.
gay, dude.
It really is.
But I do want to say this too. The scenes were so well crafted to where, I mean, granted, now there's so many films like this because this is a landmark example of how to do that kind of weird timeline twist kind of film. This really was like the blueprint.
Yeah, what Tarantino would keep doing and keep doing, and like
other and other directors, like for instance, Drew Goddard with Bad Times at El Royale. But what you get out of this though is that if you hadn't ever seen a movie like that and you went into Reservoir Dogs, the Mr. Orange fucking surprise is a fucking lit ass surprise.
Yeah, you're like,
like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me?
Like, this guy's been so in it this whole time.
And he's so fucking dead. Like, he's literally
like,
dying.
He's dying.
And he's just like...
He says it. He says he's fucking dying here.
And they do it effectively enough to where, like, him asking... Like, he doesn't do anything out of character. So him asking to go to the hospital, and shit... if you were to think about it too much, like, why do you want to go to the hospital? Oh, he must be a cop. But the fact is that the situation was really fucked up. And
like he was dying.
He was dying, exactly. So the film does a good enough job of hiding the fact, like, not only does he want to go to the hospital because he's dying, he wants to go to the hospital to get away from these crazy-ass fucking mobsters.
Right, and then...
Bank robbers, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and then, and then it makes it all the more interesting, especially when you give it the good gay reading, because it's like, well, why then does he tell Larry that he's a cop? Why does he say that? Because if he hadn't said that, he would have come out of this thing alive.
I can attribute that to two different things. I think you're right, and I also think that if somebody wants to make the argument, just be devil's advocate, it also is about a guilt thing, because he did relate to these people. And their lives were fucking shattered at the sight of this going wrong. So I think it's a matter of guilt. And I mean, he is a cop in the first place. He's trying to do good. So for him, I think it just got to the point where it was like, I fucked this dude's life up, and even though he's a criminal, he's been a really good dude to me, and he's kind of cute. And
he's kind of cute. And he is kind of cute, isn't he? Like,
but you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it also has to do with the guilt of the matter, not just the fact that he loves him.
Yeah, which he does. But like, I think that he is more comfortable with these people than he seems to be as a cop.
Yeah,
like, and
he's
finding. He's finding himself sympathizing with them and like wanting to be a part of what they're doing.
And it's kind of got like have you ever seen Infernal Affairs or the remake The Departed with Martin Scorsese? One of the Infernal Affairs is one of the best cop films ever. The Departed is directly based on it. It's a little bit different, but Infernal Affairs is fucking amazing. But that moment of like that switch for him, that is like so like that for me is emotionally as resonant as Infernal Affairs was. Because for the whole movie, you do think he's a gangster.
Yeah,
so
because he seems like a gangster.
Yeah, so when it turns out he's like, I think I'm siding with the gangsters in a sense, it's still a transformation for you, but you've been eased into it by the quality of the filmmaking.
Right.
Whereas if it was a police officer that you were familiar with being a police officer for a while, you'd be like, it's kind of weird that he's making this change just because he's undercover. No. He's been romanced.
Yes.
He's been changed.
He has been romanced. And like also there is no textual evidence to support that he didn't already know Larry's name, and that's my hill that I'll die on, because we never see him tell him that. So I'm like, y'all two been fucking.
That is very out there, but okay.
Why is that out there?
Because that's complete conjecture. You're like he probably knew, I swear, because that'd be hot. Like,
well, I'm saying that, like, you know, it seems like they're already familiar with each other.
Well, it doesn't show them saying each other's names.
I think the admission of each other's names is the I love you.
Yeah.
If you want to make that, I don't think they've revealed each other's names at all.
What?
I don't think they revealed each other's names at all until that point.
To what point?
You're saying, like, they already knew each other's name, like they were familiar with each other enough to where they've already said each other's names to each other. Is that what you're saying?
Well, we never see Mr. White tell him that his name is Larry. Like, we don't see that scene happen.
We just come into it him already knowing Mr. White's name.
But what I'm saying is, I don't feel like that was something that was like, okay, he said that because they were lovers. I feel like the admission that he was the cop to Larry, you know, to him back, is essentially him saying, like, I love you too. If that's the lines you want to draw in the sand,
that makes sense.
That makes far more sense.
Revealing yourself.
That makes far more sense than they were already romantically involved. I don't think it's like that. I think it was.
I mean, I was just kind of fucking around, but you know, like that. That's
I can't
sort
tell
of like
anymore.
bearing oneself.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys want to know something nifty?
What?
That I just looked up. They are still to this day writing fan fiction about them.
I
believe
that.
it's one of the most popular films of all time.
Like it was up. There's like 2 of them published today, and one of them is very popular. So
there was a very active like Tumblr community surrounding this movie.
That's why I started thinking about
circa like 2014, 2015.
Now, not that Tarantino gets to say whether it was or wasn't, because that's when you make art and you display it to the world.
Yeah, I don't care.
It's everybody's now.
I don't care what he thinks.
But I would like to know what he thinks. I don't care either way.
I would like
it'd be
to know what
really
he
interesting, because I feel like
Yeah.
he's always been the kind of guy that would fucking shock you. Like, oh yeah, they're totally gay. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's such a Tarantino-ism to drop that on people.
Yeah.
It's like, but if I would have said that back when I made the Indie in '92, people wouldn't have watched it.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
But I mean,
Yeah.
it feels so intentional.
Like Dog Day Afternoon, people have a
Right.
huge issue with that movie, and it's like, oh, because of the whole gay thing? Is that really the problem? Because it's a great fucking film.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels so intentional. Like can you hold me? And then there's this like lingering shot of him unbuttoning his pants. I mean, what's the heterosexual explanation, Quentin?
I wouldn't know
I just
it.
wondered.
Correct.
When
I just
I
wanna know.
watch it, I definitely see them as a couple.
Yeah.
But,
Me too.
I just wanna talk.
I just want to know what
But-
you were thinking.
but as long as it's not confirmed, I'm not going to sit here like I know for sure. But I mean, the art is open. The art is
Yeah.
what you interpret it to be, and I think that there is definitely some really adorable gay shit happening in that movie.
Yes.
Some really powerful shit happening in that movie. I mean, he
I
just
think-
can't quit him.
Correct.
Oh.
Yeah.
You just can't quit him.
Ow.
I think perhaps.
That was painful for you. Why? Why?
It's like it made me think of Brokeback Mountain, and
This,
But you haven't even watched all the way.
Also, the story's just as sad.
Right.
Yeah, I
It
know.
is.
It's
Like,
just as sad. It's another tale of love and loss.
it really is, dude.
Wait, shut up, Madison, about me not having finished all of.
Oh, that's right. We gotta talk
It
about
wasn't
that.
my fault.
Franny, positive thing you have to say about Pulp Fiction.
Reservoir Dogs.
Sorry.
I was like, I have plenty to say about Pulp Fiction. That's positive.
That's not this podcast.
I did really
Not
like
yet.
the whole flashback scene. I almost forgot about it because it's been it hasn't been super long since we saw it, but it's probably been like a month.
Beginning of quarantine.
And yeah, and I
Very
like that
beginning.
you flash back to like Larry meeting with Joe and like Vic coming out of prison.
Well, my favorite flashback
like, that's
is the
fun.
cop stuff. Like
Yeah.
with the cop.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was some positives. I just think I didn't like the pacing. It was fucking slow. I don't like slow movies.
I would not call this a slow movie.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I don't know.
I can see that
much.
perspective.
I liked the like bad guy that hurt someone cop. I liked him.
Yeah.
I liked that
Mr.
scene.
Blonde.
Mr. Blonde.
I
Question
did not
mark?
I
follow
like,
any of their names. Sorry.
I love the music in this movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I mean,
it's great. And the
I have
using the
such a
radio
problem with-
program.
I never hear the fucking music like during movies. Like unless
well,
it's,
like this is like the
I never,
soundtrack. Like
I know, but like it's not something I notice when watching a movie.
yeah, I mean
That's
that
weird.
just feels like
That's
such an
weird.
integral
Right?
part of this
Isn't that
movie
weird?
because
That's kinda
like
weird.
because
Yeah.
the way that they're using
Like,
the
never
K-Billy
registers.
super sounds of the 70s weekend like as the soundtrack to this movie is like really fun and like,
Tarantino's the music boy.
Yeah,
I mean,
he
he
loves
really
it.
knows how to incorporate edgy, odd, popular, whatever it may be,
Yeah.
music into a scene. Pulp Fiction's a better example of that, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
yeah, but
Um,
I mean yeah, like I love the music in this movie and like especially the scene where Mr. Orange is in his apartment and then he gets the call that they're there and it's time for him to go. And he's sort of given himself this like pep talk, like he's like, you're fucking Beretta, they're not gonna know shit. But in the background is playing a song called Fool for Love. And I just like that little tidbit because isn't he though?
He really is. We were talking about that last night.
So yeah,
That's
just
when
like
we
the little
watched it.
musical choices are fun.
He's always been great about that, and this
Yeah.
film is like the first example, you know?
I
Is
also
this
think
his first film? Sorry.
Yes.
Well, this is his first real feature. He has like another
Right.
weird one out there, like it's like a short, but
Yeah.
I just wondered.
nothing of particular
I
interest.
think I think Chris Penn is so underrated in this movie. I think he's great. He's probably the best character in the movie. I think he's
best
amazing.
character in the movie. I don't know about
like
that.
like in terms of the lines that he gets and stuff, like he's like his character, I love him.
I'd have to go with Michael Madsen being the best character.
I mean, yeah, I love him too, but just like I don't know, just Chris Penn like is such a highlight for me. Like just that stupid windbreaker he's wearing all the time, and then quite possibly my favorite line of the movie. And I told Bridget this while we were watching, and I was like mouthing it to her because I just think it's great. Is so they come back to the warehouse, and Blonde is dead, and Orange has shot him. And he's like, well, he was going to burn the whole place down, blah, blah, blah. And Chris Penn, I almost said Sean Penn, and that would be a disgrace to
That'd
Chris
be
Penn.
really wild.
And Chris Penn says, he's just going to decide out of the fucking blue to rip us off. Why don't you tell me what really happened? And that's
fucking
exactly how he delivers it. And I think it's amazing. And I just like, I want I love him. I just want to shout him out.
So ridiculous.
And then when he says, Larry, stop pointing that gun at my dad.
Or when he's fucking wrestling Michael Madsen in the office.
Yeah. He's so good in this movie. Chris Penn is so fucking funny.
He's underrated
in this movie.
for sure, but he's not the best part of the movie, in my opinion.
I just love him. I love his character in this movie. It is like this movie without him would not be anything to me.
I think we're ready to rate it.
I think we're ready to rate it too. I feel
this is like a party you don't want to end there. You're like, no, let's keep talking.
I know. I could talk about Reservoir Dogs forever.
I keep saying Pulp Fiction. I mean Reservoir Dogs. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I love Pulp Fiction.
I love Reservoir Dogs. This is my like comfort movie. Like if I'm sad, if I'm feeling a little blue, if I'm bored, I don't know what I want to watch. I'm like, I could just watch Reservoir Dogs right now. And then I do. And it just makes me feel nice.
I will never understand.
It's like a warm hug, you know? It's like, yes, let me just like it's just very familiar thing to me.
So
which I love.
I want to bet. I want to make a money bet
on.
right now. Madison's gonna rate it 10 out of 10.
I'll watch it whenever it's on. You know, it's just those warm, fuzzy Reservoir Dogs feelings.
There's
like,
something really like when you get to your first like art house film, and you see your first one. There is like a strong attachment to it.
I have such an affinity. Like I saw Pulp Fiction before I saw this movie, actually, and I don't.
Pulp Fiction is like the commercial act of an art house film. Though. Like Reservoir Dogs is a fucking indie.
Yeah, so I watched Pulp Fiction and I really enjoyed it, and then so I watched Reservoir Dogs because I really like Pulp Fiction, and I didn't like it as much the first time I ever watched it, but then I watched it again and I just like had this love for it, and I probably watched it like once a week for a year when I was like 16.
Jesus Christ, that's dedication.
I just love this movie, and I just have such a love for it, just like an affinity for this movie. Like this movie is my old friend, you know? It's like when times are tough, when things are getting bad, when I'm weary, even if we haven't seen each other in a while, Reservoir Dogs is there for me, you know?
I had a Reservoir Dogs poster.
You just gotta pop in that widescreen disc. Oh, I had a Reservoir Dogs poster too.
I had a Reservoir Dogs poster, and my friend insisted that it was the Men in Black. It's a fun fact, John, if you're out there.
I had a Reservoir Dogs poster, and it was like when... I think it was the scene where White and Pink are like shooting, like White standing over Pink, and he's like,
that's such a specific poster.
Yeah, I don't know why that was the one that I had, but it was just
cool. I have a Goodfellas poster where they're all
That's
like
cool.
posing for no reason.
Nice.
Never happened in the film once. Anyway, so let's rate it.
But yeah, it's just my old friend, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So 10 out of 10, baby. Old reliable. Put in that widescreen disc.
All right, Bridget.
Just feel good about it.
Be real. Don't say anything nice. Just for her sake.
Don't.
Because I'll know. If you say 10 out of 10, I'll know you're full of fucking
like,
shit.
The thing is, like, is this movie, like, arguably, technically Tarantino's best work? I don't think so. But is it my favorite? Absolutely.
Logan is the mentalist. He'll be able to tell if you're lying, Bridget.
8.5, baby.
I believe that.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I believe it might be a little romanticized from Madison, but that just shows how much you love her.
Aww.
Also, like, I thought that I really liked the characters. I had a hard time figuring out what they were saying at times.
They talk real fast.
They talk real fast, and they have like a bit of an accent. And then also there was no subtitles.
It's not about what they're saying; it's about how they're saying it.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, and so
I
just kind of
because most of the time they're just talking about bullshit.
Yeah.
And I just sort of used context clues, as I do when I'm reading.
I'm just preparing for Franny's review.
I feel like I should go last.
It's okay.
You really want to go last?
I want to go last.
What you feel is what you feel, and
Mine
that's okay.
Is a strong 7.5.
Okay.
And the reason why it's not, in my opinion, on a film merit alone, I think I'd consider it lower. Mm-hmm. But the fucking iconic scene,
the iconic
really elevates it like 1.5 for me.
Yeah,
being that it's just such an important piece of film history, but it's also like still so fucking impressive, dude.
Yeah, and it's like still so good. Mm-hmm. Like you have a good time with it.
It's a strong 7.5.
Yeah, and I mean and I think it's like it's Quentin Tarantino's first feature. Mm-hmm. I mean, first real one, and I think it like sort of sets the tone for what he's going to go do later. And like, it's sort of where he, in this movie, he begins to work with all of his like buddies, who are going to be in his movies for years to come. So yeah, like, and I think for that alone, like just sort of setting the tone for what is going to be a long and illustrious career with your pals, Tim Roth and Michael Madsen.
I'm going to do the ratings just out of 40. since there's 10 points each,
Yeah.
and it
that
won't
makes
matter
sense.
in the long run.
Or we could like average it, I guess.
If we do that, it's gonna be so much more work, and it'll come out to be about the same anyway.
I
You think?
have.
Okay.
I have
Because
mine.
if she does one drastically low, that's gonna lower
It is
it.
Yeah, that's
drastically
true.
low.
Either way.
That's fair.
3.5.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's a really.
It
That
was gonna be
ouch.
like a 2, but you've convinced me a
Convinced
whole
me.
point and a half.
Oh, wow.
Like Mr. Pink convincing Orange that he should take his dollar back. I've convinced you that Reservoir Dogs deserves an extra 1.5.
Yes, you have.
So I believe, unless somebody wants to check my math, that's 29.5 out of 40.
Is that right?
Well, she did a 0.5 and I did a 0.5.
And I did a 0.5.
Oh,
okay. So I wonder what it would be if it was an average, just for like my own curiosity.
Yeah.
So let's do it. So 10 plus Bridget, you said 8.5.
Yeah.
Plus
Logan said
7.5.
7.5. Plus Franny said
3.5.
3.5.
Which is really
equals that
7.375
out of 10. So yeah, I mean
out
that's
of
like
10.
So where's it at?
I don't know. I feel like the average is probably a more accurate representation.
Okay, so what was the average then?
7.375. So call it 7.38 or 7.4 if we want, whatever.
If you want to go that route.
We'll go with 7.38 just in case it gets really close with this.
Okay. Yeah, and I feel like that's a pretty good
That's a great score. Your score is definitely what lifted it up.
and that's a good score for Reservoir Dogs, I think. I think that I don't have an issue with that.
It's almost
like I
exactly
said-
in line with what I said, which makes
Like
me
I
feel
said,
good.
my rating is couched in my own nostalgia and affinity
As it should
and
be.
love for this movie.
Right.
Like it is this
Yeah.
is we all
have.
sometimes a movie about 5 men completely bungling a robbery can be something so personal.
The other thing too is this is not about what's objectively the best film. This
It's
is about
what do we like?
Crosscut Cinema's collective favorite Tarantino film. And
Right.
Crosscut Cinema's collective least favorite, which I have a very, very good guess, but I won't say it.
I hate you. I
Very
really
good
do.
guess.
I really hate you deeply
Why?
because I know what your guess is.
This one?
No.
No, this is going to be one
This
of the higher
one's
ones.
mine.
Because I know what it is, and I cannot wait to do that episode of this because I think it's going to be so much fun.
You know what's funny though? My opinion on it's mulled over a little bit. I mean,
That's good. I mean,
look
I'm
at
glad to hear that.
but you can't know what we're talking about.
They'll know
So
eventually. And so will I.
You'll know right
I'm
after
not
this.
so
I'll just
sad.
tell you.
oh,
I
also,
know.
I think we said we were going to keep track of feet. This
yeah.
movie doesn't have feet in it.
0 out of 0 feet.
0 out of 0 feet. Yeah.
There's only one woman in it, and she is gone pretty quickly. So
and she has
no feet. I mean, she has
She
feet.
has
We just
feet,
don't see
yeah.
them.
The Tarantino does not like male feet, apparently.
Yeah,
so.
I mean-
No, he doesn't. He's not into that. It's exclusively women.
Yeah, but so
he has standards.
Oh, but we got movies coming with the feet.
yeah. So next time we do this, it'll be Pulp Fiction, and there are definitely some feet in there.
Great! I can't wait for the feet, baby.
Like and subscribe.
Ew.
Donate to Patreon.
Patreon, please,
We love
everybody.
you.
Thank
Please.
Thank you
love
so much for
you.
listening. If you know me in real life, know any of us in real life, let us know what we're doing. Goodbye.